Welcome back everyone to our playthrough of the career mode here in NASCAR Heat 2. So we are now in second place in the standings, and we'll be taking a look at that a little bit more here in a second. But we have, most importantly, 2 races remaining until the start of the playoffs. We know that today's race is going to be at Darlington, and then our next race and final race will be at Richmond before we get started in the playoffs at Chicago. So let's go ahead and take a look at the standings themselves, and you can see why we are in second place. So we're tied at the top with 5 wins apiece with Kyle Busch, but by virtue of him having more points than us, he takes the #1 spot. Again, that's not a big deal to us, not something we're definitely going to worry about. And then Jimmy Johnson comes in right behind us with 4 wins, and then we have a few drivers at 2 wins, and then a couple more with 1 win apiece. So it looks like we're going to have multiple drivers get in simply on points. If we scroll all the way down to 16th, you can see Casey Kane at 463 points. And over to the right-hand side under needs points, you can see Eric Jones is 21 points behind him. So that's a lot of points to make up in 2 races, but it can be done, particularly if Casey Kane is involved in some sort of trouble, whether it be a wreck or a mechanical failure, that kind of thing. So it's not out of the question that either Eric Jones or AJ Allmendinger, one or the other, could surpass Casey Kane. Above that, Chase Elliott is looking perfectly fine because he has a huge cushion in points. But if you are Casey Kane, you got to be really worried, not only because of the points, but because we have 2 more races to get a first-time winner that would move you down into the 17th spot and potentially out of the playoffs. So you're not looking for any first-time winners right now if you're Casey Kane. Other than that, I think we're ready to head to the racetrack. Let's go to Darlington. All right, so before we get this race started, let's go ahead and take a quick look at the setup. And again, nothing really out of the ordinary here. It's the type setup we've been using over the last several races. We had 100 pounds of rear spring split, and you can see both the tire settings and miscellaneous settings. Everything looks very much on the norm for us. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, we are green at Darlington. And this is going to be really tricky. We've got 48 laps, so plenty of time if we have the speed to move toward the front, plenty of time to do it. But Darlington is got to be the trickiest track that we go to as far as passing. You can see there we hit the bumps, and the car didn't necessarily like those. Wow, had to get hard on the brakes to stay off of our boy DJ, the moving chicane. All right, we're going to try this thing 3 wide because basically we don't have anything to lose. So we're just going to ride it in here. All right, so far so good. A little contact here and there, but once again, these guys are really backed up. Trying to really work that gas pedal and get through the corners. All right, so we've got a little bit of clear track ahead of us. And we'll try to get a handle on what the car is doing, how it's behaving for us. Let's see if there's enough room for us down here at the bottom. If not, I guess we'll have to make it. That is a very difficult turning radius to make going into that corner. When you try to go in low and then stay low, very difficult. So the car really doesn't want to rotate all that much in the center of the corner, but again, that's something we already know about. I thought I heard the 38 get a little bit out of sorts there, a little bit of the tires screaming. I may try to get down there a little bit on what I'll call the apron. It's not really the apron around this place. but I may try to get down there a little bit below that dotted line and see if we can make up some ground down there. We've done it before, so it wouldn't be brand new to us. And in fact, whenever you come in on, if you look right in front of us, we've got 2 wide, basically as far as the eye can see. So we're going to have to try something to keep moving forward. Alright, trying to keep on the throttle as much as I can through the corner to try to clear these guys, even if I don't necessarily have a great exit. If I can just get clear of them through the center, that will help us out quite a bit. Alright, that wasn't too bad. Obviously, we didn't have the greatest exit, but it wasn't the end of the world. We're able to get clear, and now we'll continue on and try to make up some more spots. We're in the top 25 now after 7 laps. And again, my biggest hope is that by the time we get to each of these guys, they are running single file instead of 2 wide, but that is not likely to happen. Alright, so not a bad run off that corner. Danica's not going to give us a whole lot of room here. Not that I blame her. Love to hear that all clear, because I wasn't sure. Hoping that Danica will slide up the racetrack. She's not really been doing that, though. She's been hugging the bottom pretty close, making it pretty difficult for us to get any sort of position on her. And position is everything at this racetrack. Alright, so good run from Danica. We're up to 24th. Alright, pretty good run for us through the center. Can I get enough off the corner is the question. You can see her coming back on the outside. Alright, so we finally got clear of Danica. Now we'll turn our attentions to the 34 car. Looks like he's going to give us plenty of room. Okay, not bad. We're close to the top 20 now. That was a pretty good run through that corner, particularly with the groove we were running. Try to let it slide all the way up by the wall and get a good run off the corner. It is just really slow through that corner. Turns 3 and 4 are just really slow, especially with this setup. Since the car doesn't turn well through the center, it's just, you have to be patient with it. All right, 21st position, lap 13. And once again, it would be nice if we could get Dylan up the racetrack a little bit, give us a little room to operate. Doesn't look like he's interested in doing that, though. We may have to give him a little incentive for doing that, as I'm pretty sure I just saw Kyle Busch get into the wall, get his Darlington stripe. Hard to get out of this track without at least one Darlington stripe. And yeah, Austin Dillon is going to make this real difficult for us, which just means more fun for us. Means we got to work for it. Trying to give him plenty of room up there because I know he's still there, even though I keep hearing it's clear. I know he may not be right beside us, but I know he's in the area. Alright, good run off the corner for us that time. Oh, somebody got into us. More Darlington stripes there in front of us. I can just barely see the puffs of smoke. Good run off that corner for the 6 car. Very well done. Just highlights just how difficult it is down here on the bottom, particularly when the car doesn't want to rotate for you. Having to fight for every position. Now that's what makes it fun for me. Having to fight for it is definitely a good thing. I don't mind that a bit. Just can't quite get, there's not enough banking down there on what I'm calling the apron. Just not quite enough banking for what I need right now. Alright, Bane's going to come down the track a little bit to try to block us. Unfortunately, we had too much of a run for that to really be effective. Try to get a good run off. Really need to either clear Trevor Bayne or hurry up and get to Clint Boyer. Either one would really help us out. Alright, that was a pretty good run off the corner. You can see we're closing in for sure on Clint Boyer. And we got into that corner a lot better than he did. So now we'll take the battle to Clint Boyer. We've got 29 more laps, so again, plenty of laps. Alright, I think we're going to be able to clear him going into the next corner. Alright, and we did. So that moves us up to 18th. Ooh, really tight coming off that corner. So now we're ready for 21 laps. Still not to halfway yet, so we're doing really good. A top 10 would be amazing after starting from the rear at this place in such a short race. Just grazed the wall there. That's actually not a bad center of the corner. Just got a touch too high, but not bad at all. Using up all of the track in the center of the corner just really helps the car to rotate when you don't try to keep it down on the bottom, and should result in more speed if done consistently. Oh, and that was definitely too hard into the corner. So we'll officially get our Darlington stripe on that one. Just playing around with the line a little bit, trying to see if I can get any extra speed out of this thing while I've got a few moments here of free track. All right, see if we can close in on these guys in front of us. That wasn't bad. Still not quite as good as I think we can do with this setup. But you can see we got a nice run. Oh, Kevin Harvick gave us a nice little pop going into the corner. That is definitely not going to help our lap time. So once again, we'll get a nice run on him and see, hopefully one of these times he's going to give us a little room here and not give us that nice shove on corner entry. another nice run. Not going to quite get to him, though, before corner entry. See if he's going to give us some room down here on the bottom. All right, great run here. Going to try to get to the inside of Bush, even though he's going to try to block us hard. Hopefully he doesn't give us a shot going into the corner. All right, so we're able to stay beside him, even though that was definitely not our best corner. All right, another pretty good run off the corner, and we'll try to get to the inside of the 5 car and get ourselves into the top 15. All right, now we got Bush back to our outside, which is going to drove it in a little bit deeper that time. Trying to get position on Kane, and we came out pretty good. We're almost clear. All right, a good corner here, and I think we'll be clear of Casey Kane, and we can focus our attentions forward. Okay, there we go. So we're nice and clear of him now. That'll put us in 15th position. Oh, car went straight. That definitely is not going to help anything. So we're on lap 28, finishing up, and we got 20 laps to go. I never even heard him say the halfway point. All right, now we can once again play around with our line a little bit and not really worry too much if we drive it in too deep and get into the wall a little bit. Now that is a ton of cars in front of us. That's got to be lap traffic at the very front of this, because this is bad. This is very bad. My guess is that we've got a couple of lap cars right up at the front of this, and nobody can get by them. So now's where we're going to try this apron groove out. I don't know if we're going to have enough speed down here to get anything done, but as far as I'm concerned, it beats trying to stay at the end of this line and just ride around double foul, because I am not interested in doing that. All right, so we're now up to 7th. So yeah, we'll wait till we get to the front. I don't really have time to focus on who's at the front of this pack right now. But oh, we got a nice little love tap there. But yeah, none of these guys are able to pass, and this is not good. This is not the kind of racing you want. But if it's going to happen anywhere, it's understandable that it happens here, because it is very difficult to pass here. My goodness. Very tight. All right, for some reason it's showing us in first. Wow, all of these in front here are lap traffic? Yikes. So somehow we've now taken the lead. And we'll try to move on by, I believe that's the 83 car out beside us. And we did it. Okay, so now we are in the lead, a place I definitely did not expect to be in this race. And so now we can really just have some fun with this. Because my guess is they will continue to ride behind the 83 car That and however many other lap cars are up there at the front of that pack. So definitely not the way you draw it up when you're designing AI for a game. But like I said, this is a very difficult track to pass on, so if it's going to happen anywhere, this would be the place. And we've seen it happen at multiple tracks, where the leader will come up on a lap car and not be able to get by them, but usually after several laps at least, they'll be able to get by them. In this case, it would appear as though they had been going that way around the track for several laps, because it had stacked up all the way back to about 14th. So you have most of the top of the field. Alright, so now we've got a driver coming up quickly behind us, and that is great because, yeah, that's Martin Truex Jr. We don't have anything for him on speed. You can see he is much faster than us. I can't even begin to get through the corner as best as he can. So I am not going to try to hold him up. I'll race him hard, but I'm not going to try to hold him up. There's no reason for that. Like he got a little bit of the wall as well there. All right, so that was a great run off the corner for us. We'll try to keep him in touch as much as we can, but like I said, I'm going to try to run with him, but I just don't think we got anywhere near the speed. I mean, he ran us down from quite a ways back. That alone tells us something. Yeah, we're just way too tight on corner entry, which kills our speed in the center, and of course on exit as well. But again, we're going to try to stay with him here. Who knows, maybe he gets into the wall a couple of times and gives us a real shot at this thing. But this is the way I would prefer to do it. I didn't like the fact that we got the lead the way we did, but now I feel a whole lot better about it. Yeah, even going into turn 1, I'm having to do a lot of braking, which is not something you should have to do. Turn 3, yes, but not turn 1. All right, so far we're able to hang with him. Yeah, I'm having to get pretty hard on the brakes going into turn 1, and you can see that's easily where he pulls away from us. Wow, that was really close on the exit. 7 laps remaining. Oh, look at that. Yep, just can't get in there. I was going to try to give it a little bit less brake and try to get through there. Just not happening. Unbelievably, though, he still hasn't gotten away. Despite me trying out different lines and running what I would consider to be even not good laps. I mean, these are not, they don't feel good at all. All right, now he's starting to pull out there on us. Bad there. I let the car drift all the way up on the center of the corner and then kept it there on exit. So I don't see anybody coming in our mirror to fight for our second position. So it looks like we're pretty stable here with 4 laps to go. So not bad there. And with some lap traffic up ahead of us, I'm definitely not giving up on this. I'm going to run it as hard as I can and keep pushing and see if I can get back to him. Oh, terribly tight there. That's just pushing a little too hard. Alright, so some more lap traffic, and this is going to be hard for him to get through. I mean, there's 3 cars, and they're not running perfectly single file to make it easy on him. Which also means it's not going to make it easy on us. He's trying. You can't say the AI don't try to get through the lap traffic. Alright, here we go. To the start-finish line. 2 laps to go. And I think we got a shot at this. He's trying to get around on the outside, and if he does, he's got it. Because there's no way. And of course, this is where in a real race, well, now we're done for. They're going to block the track up here on me. This is where in a real race, there's no way these guys would do this with the leader coming. All right, last lap. See, we just killed the 95 off that corner. I mean, it's pretty easy to tell where other cars are faster than you or where you're faster than them. That's why lap times are important, but they're not everything. All right, so that will do it. We'll come home in 2nd position. Not bad at all. If you could have told me at the beginning of this race that we would bring it home in 2nd position, I would have told you you were crazy, because I didn't think we had anywhere near the speed for that. And overall, I don't think we did, but conditions being what they were, I am very happy with that 2nd place finish. Martin Truex brings home that victory. And let's see what kind of money we got. $262,000. Wow. Not a bad day's work. So that's going to give him 3 wins on the season, which is going to put him right behind Jimmy Johnson as far as the point standings go. But most importantly, that helps out Casey Kane quite a bit, because it means that there was not a first-time winner. Okay, let's go ahead, finish up the race. And it did look like it was some justice that Truex won that race, because it looked like he led the most laps. Okay, we did not complete all our incentive goals. Oh well. Hopefully we can find a way to deal with it. And for this, races, top 10, sure. We'll go with the easy route. And now we're down to our final race before the playoffs, which will be at Richmond. But that'll do it for this video. For now, thank you very much for joining me, and stay tuned for more NASCAR Heat 2.